Hi guys, Maniac here, and today I'm going to, rather than talk about a video game, I'm going to talk about a video game console. The one that I want to talk about today isn't necessarily one like, I don't know, the classic NES, or the Atari, or the Genesis, where they accept cartridges. Now, the one I'm talking about today is, as a matter of fact, the Tele-games Pong Sports 4 from the company Tele-games. Now, in case you didn't know, Tele-games was responsible for making, I can't exactly remember the name at this point, but basically speaking, what they did was they copied the classic, I can't show you right now, it's hooked up to my TV, but the classic Atari 2600. In fact, all they did was put stickers on it. Kind of a lazy attempt at just making some money. In fact, this led to them making a bunch of these Tele-games. I don't know if you can really see it that well. There, Tele-games. They came in numbers originally when they didn't have that many games. Like, this is Tele-games 6. The one here is bowling, but I have, like, one other. Basketball, that's what it was. But I'm not pulling it out. Yeah, basically, they made a lot of... I'm pretty sure that you could find these games, like, regularly on the Atari 2600. All they did really was just change the stickers, and in turn... it's apparently a new game. Sorry for that noise, it's a vacuum cleaner going off. Anyways, with that said, let's talk about the Pong console. And here it is, the Sears Tele-games Pong Sports 4. The controllers, I have to admit, I kind of like. It fits nicely in your hand, and it's just a pretty good basic controller. Good for lefties and righties and such. And the wire I actually found kind of humorous because, like, when you look at the end, hold up, as this. Just reminds me of, like, what you'd find for, like, a pair of headphones or something. But whatever. Anyways, the system also has this thing where, because right here, the thing about these old Pong consoles is that rather than coming out of the speakers on the TV, it comes out of the console. But it also makes way for a nice little spot where you can set the controller. Well, only 2 of the controllers, because in total the system comes with 4 controllers. So you can have 4 players. Which is always neat. I mean, like, yeah, 2 is good, but 4 makes for an intense game of Pong. It has the same hookups when I look at it, and when everyone else looks at it. It has the same hookups as the Atari 2600, where it has that weird little coaxial thing. But unlike the Atari, mine, or at least the one that I got, came with the actual box. Now this is a unique thing. I actually have my Atari 2600, the wooden one, hooked up to it. Here's how it is. It has a switch on it because this part right here is this weird wire where originally it had pitchforks on it, which here's what it kind of looks like. You have to actually screw it, except imagine that on your TV. This is just so you can have more on it. You plug the game into here, and you plug anything else you want right in here through coaxial means. And when you want to watch TV, you switch it to TV. When you want to play Pong, switch it to game. It's quite simple, except rather than screwing it in with forks, mine has this weird little coaxial thing hardwired to it, like connected to it. So, yeah, I don't have to deal with that obnoxiousness. It's my VHS player. So maybe I'll talk about a movie. I don't think I'm going to be talking about movies, though. But whatever. And if we look over here on the box, yes, I actually have the box. So I have the console, all the controllers for it, the hookups, the AC adapter, and the box. So I am pretty satisfied with this. I actually have the complete set. Just from Sears, and shows everything. 16 exciting video games. Now back then, that was amazing. We got games like Pong, hockey, street tennis, and street hockey. Even though, in the end, all that happens is like they had a little goalie thing or something like that. It didn't take too much. The reason why that this is called the Pong Sports 4 is because you have to realize, back then, the hang on a second, sorry. The Atari 2600, which is in the dark right there, now it's in the light, had not come out yet. So, back then, the only true video games back then were Pong. Or at least Pong was the most popular one. So, in turn, whenever there was a Pong system, people pretty much got it, but then after a while they got sick of it. Which led to the video game crash, but that's another story for another day. So there's not really much to it. Really in here, except dividers, I guess. And dark, endless abyss. Alright, enough of that. Now, let's actually see what this console is like on the big screen. Now, I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Like, it worked when I first ever played it, but I just don't know. Hopefully it works again. For now, let's test it out. Oh, but before I do, for all you people out there who want to get one of these, or if you already have one of these, you don't need that box that I showed you. There's actually another means of looking it up. You see, before I got that box for my Atari 2600, what I did was, alright, where'd it go? Here it is behind this. And back then they had this, now they have this thing. This works as like, I just have to plug it in through there and screw it in here. Now, you can find these things at Radio Shack. I don't know if there are such things as Radio Shacks anymore. Is there? I don't know. And they're pretty cheap. It's just like $4 or $5. Not that expensive. But now, besides that, let's play some Pong. Sorry for the terrible video quality though, because unfortunately with this Pong console, I can't really record it, but there's really no point right now because unfortunately we're going through some technical difficulties. The paddles on top really do not want to move, like at all. They'll fidget, but they won't legitimately move so I can actually, play the game. Which is strange because earlier today I was just fumbling with this thing, like trying to get it to work. It's not a dirty joke for you all to laugh at me. Stop laughing behind your monitors. Anyways. Yep, so nothing's really happening. I would go over the game in general, but there's really no point. It's Pong. Usually there's 2 paddles, and you're in a court much like this. Though the original was in black and white, this is in color. And you beat a ball back and forth, so it's much like tennis. And it's since then became a severely popular video game, being very addicting. Heck, even sometimes I find myself like looking around trying to find a way to play Pong, because unfortunately this console here just doesn't want to work. Well, I guess another thing to go over is that I need some lights in here. So you know what? Lights, I command you. With all my powers, I command you to turn on. Much better. Anyways. All the games are listed directly onto the console, so you don't need to look at the box. Sorry. There we are. Not really much, and you select the game with this big button here. There it is. But unfortunately, whenever it does that, it just goes to a black screen for me. Oh, no, wait, it wants to turn off. Yeah, this thing just does not want to work right. It's the most temperamental console I have. It'll work, but only when it feels like it. Much like with my gray box Nintendo. Sometimes I'll just want to play it, but unfortunately it just sometimes just doesn't want to work. But with the NES, it's understandable. The connector pins are messed up. With this thing, on the other hand, it's just because of age. Maybe I'll open it up and head back in there with my father and grandfather, and maybe we'll work together to try to fix it. Oh wait, before I go, I want to show you something. The AC adapter. Yeah, to turn this console on. AC adapters nowadays, they're not that long. In fact, some of them I can debate are a little bit short. But check out the size of this one. Alright guys, here we are on the complete opposite side of my room. There's my door over there. Let me show you how big this AC adapter is. Here it is, one end. Put that just a little bit behind, not too much. Here's the end. Hopefully y'all can see it right. Sorry for the awful glare, but here we go. And that's really all there is to say about the Pong console. There's just not really much to go over, unfortunately. One with it just doesn't want to work. And the fact it's Pong. Pong. Anyways. So, with that said, there's nothing really else to go over. I'm the Retro Maniac. Have a good day. And I think you all know what's up next. Later.